This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast. So a little disagreement turned into a big disagreement. And we go over it. We own what's ours to own. We talk about what we would have done differently, which includes a resiliency check-in, soft words, and renegotiation of trauma through play. Enjoy.
Yeah, this just feels better.
As far as where you're sitting?
No, that we're morning people. We tried to record a pod in the nighttime.
We just ran out of juice. You were so right where it was like, you going to be fine? I'm like, I'm going to be fine. And then I just started yawning and I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of these chairs. Yeah, we were talking about hard stuff too.
We were.
It's not like it was a fun one. It's not like we were doing a movie review. We were talking about our problems.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, so it was 2 nights ago that there was a little thing and then it turned into a really big thing. And this happens a lot, right?
Yeah, not just for us, for most humans.
For couples.
Yeah,
and it's fucking devastating where it's like something small and then it's a day-and-a-half event. Mm-hmm. So can I set the scene?
Go, baby, go.
So we Airbnb. It was dear friends' birthdays. So they got an Airbnb. We rented a room. It was after a full day of hanging out and
11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a 12-hour day. We just got back from a restaurant, and it was time to go to bed. And I said, "What do you want tomorrow to look like? As far as the morning, as far as us checking out, what do you want the day to look like?" And we had differing opinions.
Shocker.
On the day. And what I need to own is that we've been doing resiliency check-ins lately.
Mm-hmm. Can you, if somebody hasn't listened to the episode where we touched on learning about resiliency check-ins, could you give a brief synopsis?
Happily. So resiliency check-in is 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Resiliency of 5 is like, I'm ready to run through a fucking wall. I will conquer the world. And a 1 is, I can't talk to you right now.
Yes. I am so under-resourced. Mm-hmm. I am. And what we mean by resiliency here is, I've had good sleep. I've connected with my friends. I've had, if you're a journaler, my journaling time. If you're a meditator, I've had my meditating time. I've exercised. I'm feeling well. I'm healthy.
I took a shower. My butt's clean.
Literally, whatever it is that you, oh human, need to be resilient, right? That is what we're talking about.
So what I need to own is when I asked that question, I did not do a resiliency check-in with you or with me. If I had done a resiliency check-in, I would have been at a 1.5. Where was your resiliency check-in at that time?
3.54.
Great, which is high. Mm-hmm. That's like, okay, let's get shit done. So what I did is I go, what's your day look like tomorrow? And then you started talking, and did I even cut you off?
You asked, hey, babe, what do you want the morning to look like?
Did I say it like that?
I heard it with the most pleasant tone.
So it's like a setup.
I heard it with the most pleasant tone. And we had such a good day. Were we exhausted? Yes, but it truly had been a beautiful day. So yeah. It was a pleasant tone, but keep going. Tell the story. Keep going. Do you remember what I said?
No. You
oh,
go.
Really? Okay.
It is washed away with conflict.
No.
At this point, it's basically, It just goes into conflict. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, at this point, I'm like all snug as a bug in a rug. For those who know our human design types, I'm a generator, and I am the happiest after all of my energy is spent. And so this was the perfect day. Like literally, if I could script a day, it was the perfect day. I maybe would have thrown a workout in somewhere, but I got up at like 6:15. I journaled. I did all of my client homework. I booked a reservation for a restaurant in New York to do my New York thing. Like I was so happy. We left the house on time. We got there early. We were the first ones at the event. So like there wasn't even that. the day just flowed beautifully. It was deep, meaningful conversation kind of all day, but also laughter, like so much laughter. Good food.
For us, there was a lot of kissing. There was a lot of touching.
Yeah, so much, and that was like celebrated in the space. We were having like intentional speaking words over our friend. That's really important to both of us. No one was drunk. We had talked about that too. Like
great.
we weren't. No one was. There was beautiful wine flowing all day, but nobody. There wasn't. I felt so good. My face was washed. I was in a bed that could have been maybe more comfortable, but in the grand scheme of things, I couldn't have been happier. So I'm laying there happy in bed. Now, so I'm a generator. Trey's a projector. His battery is finite. I know that he's out of battery, but I also know that he's a splenic projector, and he has this ability to say, this is a good thing. I am going to channel energy into this thing today. I want to be present. And I had seen you do that all day long. You knew you could go in the back and take a nap. I never saw you go take a nap. Did you take a nap? Anyway, so I'm thinking, oh, my babe's asking me like, what do you want in the morning? So I like take a deep breath and I'm like, oh, okay, I'd like to get up either with my alarm or when I get up, but early, like 6:15, 7. And I'd like to make coffee and I'd like to sit on that little couch in the sun and journal. And then from there, I don't really care. Maybe if our friends still need help loading their cars, like we help take the car down, then we had to be out by 10. So I was thinking like at 10, there had been like rumors of brunch. And I was like, but I would be totally fine if we skipped that and did a Trader Joe's run instead and then made our way home. Like I was like, and then if I think I said, which this might have been the trigger for you, morning quiet, help take down, and then just a fun, relaxing day. That might have been what I said.
Okay. Sundays are big work days for me. So this was Saturday going into Sunday.
Which I do know this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you know.
Yeah.
We've been together, 5 years?
Yeah,
know
I
you
am
know.
very aware.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And mine was like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, so I said, what do you want your morning to look like?
And I go, babe, we got to get back. It's like, I'd like to clean up and like leave early. And yeah, and the whole mood shifted.
And then I think I smiled like this. And what did you say?
What?
You said, are you making fun of me right now?
No, that's not the right context of it.
Oh.
It was, I don't know what it was, but the mood shifted from having like Lauren having like a beautiful, like flowing morning to me, like being task oriented. Because I saw the day as just a bunch of tasks that we needed to get done so I could get home and do more tasks. So mine was like a workflow thing. Hers was that. And then we just started kind of stumbling over each other where I don't remember what was said, but I eventually said, I was like, I feel like I'm getting mocked.
Yeah, they don't do that.
And also, yeah, that's what I felt, but it wasn't what was actually going on. What was going on is that I was talking logistics when I shouldn't have been talking logistics. That's what was really going on, where this could have waited till the morning. Because I saw this just as a bunch of work things. Even the Airbnb, I was uncomfortable being there. And C, we have to clean up the Airbnb in the morning. And then we have to go to Trader Joe's, and then we have to get on the road, and then I have to go home and do all these things. So I saw it as a bunch of tasks, where you saw it as like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Can I add some things to that?
Yeah, of course.
I saw it as we need a really good night's sleep. And we need a quiet morning. Our friends weren't getting there till 9.
Yeah.
What's so funny about this whole thing is I've told you countless times that I know who you are, which is like this phenomenal human, right? Like, so I think I know who we both are, which was I knew what I needed in order to be helpful for an hour from 9 to 10. That was my only like responsibility. And then also to you, I know Sunday's a big work day. You like to do the laundry on Sunday. So I also had in my mind, you need your time so you can be of service and then also have a beautiful day off. It's my like day off. And so I knew, yeah, there's work to be done, but we need a good night of sleep and quiet time in the morning. I was so expecting you to tell me, oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I'd like to get up also with the alarm, maybe sleep in a little bit when you get out. And then I'd like to meditate. I'd like to do my stretches. I'd love just some alone time. And I was like, so prepared to be like, I'm going to protect that baby. And then for you to say like, yeah, and then let's help the friends from 9 to 10. And then, you know what, babe, I don't think I've got capacity for brunch because it's the work day. And I would have been like, yeah. And that you would have been like, let's still run to Trader Joe's. You know, maybe if it's busy, I can stay in the car. And I'd be like, yeah. And then you'd be like, let's get home. And be like, yeah.
And that's what I should have said.
But you were so tired. I hear you.
What would you have changed? Going back to the evening, what would you have changed in those moments?
Yeah. Should we finish up the story of what went down?
Oh, yeah, we're going back to the evening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in that moment where I said, like, hey, we need to get home, what would you have changed in that moment?
Let me say what I did.
Tell what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What I should have done in that moment. Have we even talked about Jelly Bear?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Is said Jelly Bear. Because in that moment, I could see that my love, his battery was gone. And that the decisions you were making in this moment were based upon negative battery life, right? It's like being on empty, like a car. Yeah. If you have no fuel, how the fuck are you supposed to drive to the next destination? You were on empty or below. You were running on fumes. Totally understandable. I should have said, Jelly Bear, the gas tank is empty. Let's have this conversation in the morning.
What's the significance of Jelly Bear?
Jelly Bear means I'm soft, right? There's a potential to harm one another right now. I need some tenderness. I need a pause. This is an important conversation. I do not want to dismiss this conversation. This is important. And intuition says here, not now.
So specifically, Jelly Bear means I require softness from you, Trey. Like, ooh, Trey, I require softness. And you know what I would have changed? Then even a Jelly Bear, honey, I think we need to come together and co-regulate.
I do too.
Where we need to touch or hug. Because if you would have said Jelly Bear, I would have gone,
I know. I think you would have been like
just
mad at Jelly Bear. You think?
Well, if I would have, but that's mine to fix. If I would have honored Jelly Bear, I think I would have just kind of fallen into your arms and gotten some co-regulation. That's not what happened. Let's go back to reality. What
Fun
happened?
times.
What happened next?
Must have, again, is like, I'm just like kind of laying in bed, excited. And so I said something, probably, I don't know, silly. And that's when I saw your face change. Because that's when you said, I feel like I'm being made fun of right now. Am I being mocked? And I thought in my head.
And also it's an extension of, I feel like my day tomorrow, my Sundays are no longer being protected. Or they're being diminished.
You didn't say that yet. You said this in the moments to come. And that's when I felt the oh shit in my body. You know, we all have like those moments. And I felt the oh shit in my body, like, oh. And again, should have Jelly Bear, should have checked in on resiliency, because then my feelings just started to get hurt, right? I started to feel like, this is so funny. Like, we're equal partners. Like, we tease each other all the time. Like, I wasn't, no. Like, it is my deepest desire in the world to protect and respect and honor your body. Like, what? Like, I don't make fun, especially when we're tired. Like,
we tease, we make fun, but we don't make fun about like those things.
No, or someone's work. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like,
so my feelings weren't representative of reality
in
that moment.
Yeah. And so when that starts to happen, I know we're off kilter.
And I didn't ask. I was like, I didn't ask a seeking clarification.
Because you didn't have the bandwidth, baby. It's okay. Sure. And so then we proceeded to just kind of go back and forth. This is all like while you were standing in that moment. Eventually, like, you get into bed and, you share, it's Sunday. I share, okay, I get it. I had witnessed you doing laundry earlier in the week. Like, I thought you had made adjustments to give yourself a little more space on Sunday.
Which is accurate.
Okay. So I felt like, oh my God, I've just completely misunderstood. I know that Sundays are so important. And I also think we function pretty well as a team when there's an instance like this, which is pretty few and far between. We usually don't do things that overlap on a Sunday. But we both chose, we are choice makers, to come do this friend's birthday and stay overnight. So I'm thinking in my mind, I am feeling like he's saying, this is your fault. You don't take my work seriously. Again, these are feelings. And that I'm thinking in my head, what the actual fuck? Like, I also have a job that I take seriously, and I also moved things around. I didn't see any clients on Saturday. That is a huge loss for me, but like, this was important. We've had this on our calendar for months, 4 or 5 months, and I'm thinking, what the actual fuck? Where did we get so far off? So I'm feeling both attacked for not respecting your work, which is, and you as a human, which just feels so like non-me, like I love you with my heart and soul. And I am feeling so angry for my own joy, like so misunderstood. We should use this word later. Like, what is like my joy not important? Like, I am so confused. Like, if my joy gets in the way of the tasks that need to be done, like, nope, not on the table. And I'm thinking in my mind, that's not how we function. So we go back and forth for, I don't know, 10 minutes in bed, not a long time.
Which was a mistake.
It was.
Turning off the lights.
Oh my God.
And laying down
So
and talking to each other. That's a mistake also, where you turn off the lights.
no one's looking at the other. Yeah.
We weren't touching each other. We were pissed at each other.
You interrupted several times.
Okay.
Not like you. You are not an interrupter. And if you do, you say, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you can please
Did I own
continue.
it in real time?
You would do this. You would interrupt, and then you'd go. Like, you would stop. You're still a man of character and like high value, even when you're arguing with me. You never scream. You never.
Did I own it in real time?
People would laugh. You did not. I don't think you owned it in real time.
Oh, okay.
You would just stop.
I acknowledged a couple. I think once or twice I interrupted you. I acknowledged it.
And what happens to my body, folks, in this moment is I have serious trauma with walking into a problematic situation like this one, where I think things are one way, but really they're another way. I grew up in this patriarchal, misogynistic household where women were to defer to men. And so I have this horrific memory of offending my father in a similar type of way. We were all joking and wonderful and planning and going on, and him getting so mad, and my female friend being present and my mother being present. And
you were 13 too.
I was 13 fucking years old, which is the age of my own kiddo. And she says offensive things all day, every day to us. And it is the job of a teenager to be figuring out, right, what is wrong, what is offensive, what is not offensive, what is, ooh, let's save that for later, right? It's our job as parents, I believe, opinion, to coach kids up, to model healthy conflict, to model these things. So anyway, that did not happen to me. And something was probably going on in my father's life. All of a sudden, I'm following him up the stairs, or I'm going to grab something from my room. He's going up. I say something. We are all having a lovely time, so similar to this night. And I say something that bruises his ego in some way, shape, or form. He doesn't feel valued and seen. He turns around and he says, "Get upstairs." And my mom and my best friend just freeze. And I'm looking at them like, can someone help me? Like, will someone explain that that was not my intention? What was so sad is I really love my dad. And I would not, like, I was like a daddy's girl. Yeah, it still like breaks my heart. Like, that was not my intention. It wasn't my intention 2 nights ago. It wasn't my intention on the stairs. So to feel, anyway, took me upstairs, like spanked me with a leather belt. It's not spanking, it's abuse, my friends. And I was 13 fucking years old. It felt so inappropriate because I had been menstruating for 2 years. I was this tall. I was in this body. And my friend and my mom were just downstairs. Nobody ever spoke about it again. There's this kind of, in that world, and I went on to read the book that shaped why they parented in the way they did. It's like, as he went to his closet to get his belt, this like eerie calm falls over the parent because they think they're now being like doing God's work. And so it's not angry, it's just eerie. There's no explaining. You're the child. You disobeyed. You have the sinful heart. You spoke disrespectfully. It is your job to respect your father. God.
And 2 nights ago, was that where your body went?
Entire body. So what, we start talking in bed, like Trey said, should not have done this. There was a moment where he interrupted me and my nervous system was okay. And then all of a sudden the interruption, it was as if every trauma response. So in that moment in the bedroom, I disassociated, right? You start to pull out of your body so you don't. Yeah, when you can't make sense of something, or this is my trauma response, when I can't make sense of something, I just go away from it. And so I could feel myself leaving my body in the bedroom. What goes away from me is my voice, because that's what was silenced in that moment very much. You don't speak like that to me. I'm your father. You respect me. And all of the respect stuff people need to understand that is indoctrinated into young people is, as a woman, as a girl, you respect me like this because this is how you should eventually respect your husband. I will transfer ownership of your heart from myself to your husband someday. So Trey doesn't believe any of this bullshit, and yet it lives in my nervous system. So the interruption of my voice, right, made my voice go, and then literally I could feel my heart beating in my neck. My heart rate skyrocketed. My stomach started flipping. I didn't cry. My voice, it just freezes. It freezes in my throat.
It almost goes to a childlike voice.
Does it? Yeah. You experience it.
Yeah, it goes to very small, very meek, very childlike.
Yeah.
And
which then I bet it feels like I've blown it out of proportion. Does it?
Brutal honesty?
Yeah, sure. Go
and
for
this
it.
is going to come out wrong, and then I totally hear that. And also, that I didn't hit you or yell at you,
No.
or it's from my perspective in real time, and this is the wrong way to say it, but if we're in a fight, I have a stick and you have a nuclear bomb. You the reaction to we're kind of arguing about scheduling.
I hear you.
It goes to your father hitting you with a belt. And then it's holy fucking shit. Mm-hmm. How did I cause this?
Yeah.
And this isn't accurate. I'm just going to fucking put it on repeat. Where and you're not punishing me, but it's does the punishment fit the crime?
Yeah. Yeah.
I go, hey, I want to leave earlier. And it's you've now brought me back to childhood abuse. Right. And it's what the actual fuck from me.
Yeah.
But, and it's did I scream at you? Did I throw things? Did I go to rage? Did I call you a dumb bitch? Did I break an Airbnb lamp? What's happening? What on earth is happening? And then my mind goes to, oh, this isn't fucking worth it. You just got to be agreeable, which isn't the answer also, because that'll just get bottled up and that'll explode later on. But I can see where people in relationships just want to fawn and be agreeable because holy fucking shit. And then my mind goes to is Lauren a safe person to talk, or am I allowed to be frustrated? Mm-hmm. And none of that's accurate because you're the safest person. I don't come to you with all my problems. Oh. You are not my therapist. I have a therapist. Shout out to my therapist. But at the same time, the solution is not to just be disagreeable. This is our shit to work on.
Yeah.
And then this horrible childhood thing that happened to you, it's yours to work on and it's mine to support.
I was just thinking of my renegotiation of trauma through play exercise.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd be willing, maybe one day this week, if I wrote out in my fancy writing tablet and then texted you a scene, would you be willing to to play this on the stairs with me.
Is it union? Is it union work? What's the rate?
You're not a card holder anymore. Sorry, sir. Your card has expired. You are no longer paying dues. So I will pay you in sexual favors, but that is what I will pay you in.
Sexual favors? Mm-hmm. See how I perked up?
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if you would recreate this instance on the stairs with me where I respond in my adult body now. Similar to the way we did, you and I reenacted a scene from the restaurant for you. And you went into your imagination and you responded like you came in as like upper management or something like this.
Oh yeah, that was fucking great. It was one of the times that an upper manager in a restaurant, I was in my 20s, he talked down to me, like he made it personal and he just cut me to the bone. And then in my mind, I walked in with a suit in my age and I was his boss and I didn't yell at him, I didn't hit him, which I've wanted to do for a decade. But I just go like, hey man, you can't talk to people like that. That's so mean. If you're going to do that, you can't be here. You're going to need to apologize. Yeah. So it was very powerful for me where I don't think about that very often anymore.
So
that's the interesting thing where I don't go back to that.
Peter Levine, one of my favorite trauma experts in the world, says that our bodies are just trying to finish the loop. Yeah. And so we reenact trauma. This is what happened this night. My body reenacted a traumatic event because it wants to finish out the story. It wants to complete the story. But Peter challenges us to renegotiate our trauma through playful exercises where we engage our imagination. Some people love to do it with their full bodies. When Trey and I did this exercise for him, we just did it sitting at a table and he just closed his eyes, went in his imagination, because I said, how would you have liked to respond to this guy who was screaming at you? But then that's what was so beautiful is then you were like, in your imagination, a different person came in.
And it was a scenario that I've never thought of.
Yeah.
Just someone coming in that was his boss. It was me in a suit. It was me looking tight, swagged out, right. And then just being like, hey, man. Right. And that was it. I've never done that once. It was on the fly in that moment, but it was very powerful.
And what Peter says is it releases us. When we renegotiate trauma through play, it's like having been on a roller coaster where you're in that loop. And you just keep going in the loop forever because you're reenacting. Yeah. And renegotiation of trauma allows you to get off the loop.
I want to talk about, pause. Unpause. Okay, so what script were you thinking about doing? Yes, yeah. I'd be happy to help that, especially if we're going to close the loop. Close the loop. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Yes, what were we thinking about?
The stairs. I think we should. I think I should renegotiate the stairs.
Okay. Do you want to do it in? Do you want to do it like?
I think I want to act it out because it's in my body as this scary, scary thing, and I'll journal it. I'll journal through it today, actually, and maybe in my mind also, like you, it won't be me saying the words. Maybe it will be what should have fucking happened of my mother stepping in.
Great. That's your supervisor.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you could step in too. Yeah. 38-year-old Lauren could just be like, hey, you're not taking her up there. Come back down. And then the neat thing is he has to do what you say. Or he could try to argue with it, but you're the boss. That's the neat thing about this renegotiation of play.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd like to do that. Because Trey's exactly right. I don't think it was a wrong illustration at all that the scale that my body responds to what should be normal adult conversations. I was talking with a client about this the other day. Shout out. That because girls were not allowed to have normal negotiation conversations with the male figures in their lives. We never learned how to have some real basic conversations. Mm-hmm. So, we were joking kind of the next day where I said, would it be better if we just start yelling at each other? Because we're both trying to be so kind that we're like, I don't know, just kind of tiptoeing. I don't think that, but I do think even if it meant, because there was a whole nother empty bedroom, us sleeping in separate bedrooms, I have got to not abandon myself. Mm-hmm. Because you're right. I need to stick up for myself in that minute. I know that if I stick up for myself, it is probably going to result in more frustration from you. And that's what scares me. Not you. You have never hit me. You have never even yelled at me. They don't do this. You did on this to stand. You yelled the word fuck, but you didn't even, you didn't look at me. You turned your head there and yelled there. And it felt more like a yell at yourself than it felt like at me. I felt like you were saying, why is this happening again?
I am very good at yelling at myself.
Yeah. You don't yell at me. You don't say, you stupid woman, why are we having a hard conversation? You don't do that. But there's gotta be a better answer than me like abandoning myself. And I don't know. I don't really want to try a angry yelling match, but something. Jelly bear would help.
Yeah. I mean, going back, that's the neat thing about like, hey, okay, let's close the loop
on
the story. Okay. So we both slept pretty much terribly.
I had
the really cool Tempur-Pedic mattress was so hot. It was 65, and it was in the room, and it was 120. So we both kind of slept like shit. Lauren got up in the morning. She did her thing. I got up. I showered. I pooped for the first time in like 36 hours. That was lovely.
Which also needs to be part of our resiliency check-in.
Yeah. And
seriously, full bowels, you don't.
And then I came full bowels, full heart, can't lose. And so then I came into the living room, and I just said like, hey, I need to own that. Yeah, I wasn't resilient when I had that conversation. I need to own that. And,
you also meditated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That came out in a meditation. It was good. And then we had a lovely morning. Anything about the morning, baby?
Well, yeah, because so this is what happened. This is what's so tough in those moments, which again is why I'm just gonna start utilizing Jelly Bear. Is that in the morning after you had some coffee, had a long meditation where you put your feet on this little like heater thing, and it felt so lovely, and poop and a shower. You came in, you sat down, you said exactly what you said. I need to own that I wasn't resilient last night. I should have done a resiliency check-in. And I want you to know that what you shared yesterday evening about what today could look like sounds delightful. It's exactly the right plan. What hurts so much, total transparency, brutal honesty, is I knew my plan was a good plan. I didn't think my plan was a bad plan. I love you. I know you. I knew how much you needed sleep, and those things, those exact things that you said in the morning, you're entitled to. I was going to protect those. So what I was filled with in that moment is, we got to do the night times better, because I don't like being made to feel silly. Like that's a silly plan when I know it's at least I want to be treated like I am not disrespectful of your work, because I am not. That I want to be treated like, and we talked about this at lunch later or brunch later, like an equal, like an egalitarian partnership, which is what we normally do. Yeah. Normally, when we're both resilient, we negotiate out a plan. It's lovely. We compromise. We get to the best possible solution for both parties. What is so painful for me when we push into conversations that we shouldn't been having when we're under-resourced and unresilient is that I feel like, how dare you have that desire for tomorrow that disregards the things that I need to get home to do.
Okay.
And that is unloving and unsupportive, and it's Sunday. Like, why should I have to tell you? Okay. And so that was a point of frustration was, yes, it is a good plan. And I always want to take in your like pieces too. So
yeah, I need to own that. Like, we need to talk about scheduling way beforehand, or we need to talk about it just like we should have done in the morning. Because I think it's okay to be like, let's make a plan in the morning. And baby, I invite you to save me from myself as well.
By jelly bearing.
Yeah, by jelly bearing or by checking in with a resiliency check.
Awesome.
Great.
And I was sitting over here smirking because what a gift you've been given in this wife of yours.
Oh, it could be worse.
I've
heard stories of other men's wives. It could be worse.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that my childhood traumas still are so affecting of our partnership. And thank you. I deeply believe that there is an amount of healing that we can do on our own that is our responsibility to do. And then there is an additional degree that partnership can heal us if our partners are willing to. And yeah, your presence heals me. And I'm so thankful. And I am really sorry for, I'm sure it feels like you're, detonating a bomb when you didn't intend to. And I'm sorry for that. Mm-hmm. I really am. And I'm sorry that, I wasn't coached up in disagreeing with a person in a male body. So it's
reaffirming you can disagree with me. I invite you to disagree with me. Mm-hmm. I welcome disagreement. Mm-hmm. If you think it's like, we could do it a better way, please share it.
Thank you. So we slept. We healed in a couple seconds in the morning, but then we tried to we did need to close out this part of the conversation a little bit. So we talked at Whole Foods a little bit, and that was hard.
It was a 30-minute conversation. It stunk.
It was really hard. Yeah. And then what was the thing that I said? You wrote it down. I hopped out of the car. And this is what I want to close out with today. And then we can be done.
It's hard because we've never done it before, not because we're pushing into the wrong thing. I'll say it again. It's hard because we've never done it before, not because we're pushing into the wrong thing. Lauren Rogers, my wife.
I said that because Trey was sharing with me, should I ignore it, right? Should I bottle? Should I just be agreeable? And I was like, no. I think that this is similar to golf. Like, learning a new thing is hard. It doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing that thing. That creating a new neural pathway is a difficult task. We have the opportunity to do something really beautiful if we want to. It's always up to, we get free will here. And
I want to go on the record too. Golf is way easier than marriage.
You can throw that golf club.
I can throw the golf club and it was like, put me right back in the bag.
Hello, our friends. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Partnership Podcast. Please keep in mind, these are our opinions, our lived experiences. You have a right to self-determination. Please, please, please seek out help and support if you are interested in some of the techniques and things that Trey and I are doing in real time, as you see. Let me know. Go to sexedforyou.com/free consult to request a consult. This is the work that I love. That I love. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that goodness, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.